Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 8 of our Dark Souls Remastered playthrough. It has been quite some time between myself starting a new job and also prepping for a move in the next week, actually. Just haven't had a lot of time to get to it. So, today I think, and this is going to be a pretty good one, I think, we're going to handle Darkroot, and we're going to do Darkroot Basin as well as Darkroot Garden in this episode. And by that I just mean the ones we haven't already done. Like, for example, we've already killed the Moonlight Butterfly, to my recollection, so that of course won't be on our to-do list because there's nothing to do. Yeah, it's already there. So some of this will be retreading old grounds that we've seen in prior episodes, and some of it will be well, honestly, most of it will be retreading old ground, but that's fine. We're really just going through, and we're actually gonna... Is there another one coming? Yeah, okay. Let's deal with him. I always roll that too early. Okay, so we are going to head over here. We're going to do this little area first, and then we're going to handle everywhere else. So first, let's start by saying I am glad to be recording again. Honestly, I've had a couple of opportunities to record that I just haven't taken because I've just... Man, the energy levels have been low, like at an all-time low. But yeah, it's good to be recording again though. I did have some Dungeons and Dragons planned, but some of my players aren't able to make it today, so I just canceled the session and decided to record instead. Using that excess D&D energy for recording some Dark Souls. Now, I can't promise that I will have any form of a regular upload schedule because, once again, just a lot of stuff happening right now, just in life. But for the most part, I mean, I can't complain. Things have been good. Things have definitely been good. They could definitely be worse, so... Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was this strong. I was not ready to two-shot them. Okay, well, that's good. That fills me with some confidence. Okay. Now, I don't know if it's this way for you guys too, but when I watch other people play video games, I get extremely frustrated with how they move the camera, or to be more specific, I guess, how they don't move the camera. Like, when I'm wandering and walking, right, I like to, you know, move the camera around, kind of get a gist of what's around me, see if I'm missing any items. You know, I try to, you know, do broad sweeps to keep, you know, my field of vision as wide as possible, I guess. And, you know, it just kind of bothers me when I'm watching... It's gonna be loud. When I'm watching other people play games and they don't do that, it's like, how do you have the confidence that you're not missing things? Maybe I'm just overly paranoid. Rusted iron ring would be really good for this, actually. Ow. Yeah. It's another head down. But yeah. I don't know where I went and got on that little soapbox or why, but just... Oh, there's a one, like, curving from the left. I was wondering what was hitting me. Which one is it? I assume it's that far left one. But, yeah. I am, not a huge fan of... I don't know. I won't say bad camera movement, just... I like moving the camera around. There is a drop off here, that's why I'm being super cautious, but I'm also like not paying attention to where I am standing. This one is the one that keeps sneaking up on me. I could actually probably get in a pyromancy here. There we go. Oh, came right for me. And we actually do enough damage that I don't know that we're going to need to cut off all the heads. No, we won't. I don't think I've ever actually had to cut them all off, come to think of it. Alright, so I'm going to switch to the Remastered Iron Ring really fast. One thing I can show you guys is if you didn't, like maybe 2 episodes ago, I think. No, it was back during the, it was right before we went to Anne Orlando, I want to say, but I bought the Covenant of Artorias. Now, if you don't want to do that, I'm not going to go all the way up the side. It's a rather long climb, but you can go up this way and it'll basically take you to a route where you can avoid having to buy the Covenant of Artorias. Or not the Covenant of Artorias, the Crest of Artorias is what it's called. So yeah, if you go around that ladder that I just showed you, you don't have to spend 20,000 souls, but honestly I think 20,000 souls is fairly inconsequential. One moment. And we're back. Okay. As I was saying, I think 20,000 souls is fairly inconsequential by a certain point of the game. So, but do with your souls as you will.
So, it is thou who rescueth me. Most gracious, I am deeply obliged. I am Dusk of Ulyssil. I cometh from an age long before thine. I cannot stay here for long. So, before I disappear, allow me to ask one thing. My home, Ulyssil, is the home of ancient sorceries. My hope is to pass this profound knowledge to thee, with thine approval. Would this be of assistance to thee?
Not really, but we're gonna say yes.
My heartfelt thanks. I am pleased beyond words. Then I shout, engrave my signature. If thou art in need, pray summon me from my signature. It seems that my time is done. May the great flames guide thee.
And she's gone. So I'm gonna show you guys where to summon her. So that was Dusk from Ulyssil, and she will sell. So her set is actually pretty good. It'll spawn back over there. Well, honestly, it's just the crown. The crown boosts. Does it just boost sorcery or all magic? I don't remember. It's been a while since my mage run, but yeah, so she's over here. You can actually see her summon sign right there. I'm gonna pick her up and talk to her really quick. And you notice you don't have to be alive for this, as I am currently not alive. I am hollow.
I am Dusk of Ulyssil. It is an honor to see thee again. I shall follow thy wishes.
You can learn a gesture from her. And, you can talk to her and you can buy sorceries from her. Now, these sorceries honestly feel more like miracles, but they are, in fact, sorceries. You can get her catalyst.
For a very long time, I was trapped within the crystal golem. From my home, I was taken and banished to a plane of distortion. It was there that thou came to my rescue, long after I had relinquished all hope. So gleeful was I. My faith reneweth. The sorceries of Ulyssil differ from the magic of thine age. It is difficult to explain, Ulisil's sorceries are, what doth one say? They're somewhat of an approximation. Thine sorceries are more straightforward, negating all but thyself. Dost thou not find some fascination in these discrepancies? If thou art in need, pray summon me again. I wish to be of assistance. May the flames guide thee.
Oh yeah, it is pretty interesting how, you know, magic, I suppose, has evolved over time in the land of Dark Souls. The sorceries are like entirely, I won't say entirely different, but I guess as Dusk was explaining it, in her age they were I guess less quote unquote scientific in nature as compared to sorceries now. Which is far more exacting. Also just more suited for combat in general. But yeah, and of course, I guess as she was also kind of getting at, they don't really affect the sorcerer themselves. They just kind of attack. I'm trying to think of, are there any sorceries in Dark Souls that directly affect the caster? And I don't think, off the top of my head, I can't think of one. Like, they're all very much, honestly, they're all variations of Soul Arrow or like buffing. But that being said, yeah, maybe like some of the ones from Velka, like, it's not Promised Walk of Peace, I don't think, but I can't think of it right now. But this is like the one where you like explode if you take too much damage. Is that even Dark Souls 1? Is that even a sorcery? I don't know. That might be a miracle for all I know. There's Vow of Silence, I think. I know that's, I mean, but again, that doesn't really, well, it kind of affects it doesn't really affect the sorcerer directly. It affects an area and just makes anyone in it incapable of casting spells, from my understanding. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking a lot of bullshit. Alright, so let's see. Was that my first swear? I don't know. I don't monitor what I'm saying on a micro level like that. Okay, so now that was pretty much that area. It was pretty short. I don't know why I expected it to be longer. The meat and potatoes of Darkroot is what's coming next. I should be able to handle it fine. Historically, I have had trouble with this area. Don't know why precisely, but I have. So yeah, we're gonna figure that out. Figure that out. No, we're going to navigate the area. Now, if I remain this strong for like the rest of the content, I should be good. I'm gonna switch rings back to the evil eye. Something tells me though that I'm not. Cause I was definitely too strong for the area that I was just in, and that's partially why I was able to get by as easily as I was. Right, we had just gotten dexterity to 30, so that meant I was going to start leveling vitality up to 30 next. So yeah, but first things first, we've got to basically clear out this entire forest area. Trust and believe when I say it can be quite annoying. Well, I say annoying, it can just be troublesome. I just want to kindle that bonfire right out there, but maybe not. You can actually cheese these guys, from my recollection, by like luring them over here and then standing there, because they'll just kind of drop off. Now a part of me would, there's the sorcerer, would go and rest at the bonfire just to go and kindle it, because in my experience doing this area with like, let me pull him over here, doing this area with less than 10 Estus can be a bit troublesome. But it's not terrible. You see I'm already down 2 Estus, and that's because I've been playing sloppily. Literally haven't played this game since the last time you saw me record. So yeah, I am of sorts right now, definitely. So there's a cleric over there, which I think we can avoid aggroing if we come around this way. We have this barbarian figure. Actually, I think the starting class that starts with is like, what, brigand or bandit or something? I don't know. Yeah, okay. So being stronger, definitely. There's a rogue around here somewhere as well, and I don't know where they are, which bothers me. So I'm pretty sure they can backstab you. They are. Primary target, though. I'm less concerned about the cleric. Alright, so that's pretty much all the forest hunters dead. Honestly, I get turned around in here so easily. It's not funny. It's really not. It's pretty bad. For how many times I've played this game, I get turned around in this area far too easily. In all seriousness. But yeah, right now I'm looking for the archer, which I don't know precisely. I think they're like right around here. Yeah, there they are. They're dead. Okay. That throws a wrench in my plans. Hold one moment. And I'm back. So, oh, hello. Ow. Where'd you even come from? I didn't even realize there was a second great sword user in here. Ow. Okay, let me be careful. Got what we want. Ow. Stop hitting me. You're hurting me. Firstly, so what we're going to do is we're temporarily going to leave our current covenant and join this covenant, because I'm going to go rest. And if you're a part of this covenant, they respawn, but they won't attack you.
Is it not so that thou art new? Thou fared well to find me, but cometh thee not for the grave of Sir Artorius? My advice true. Forget this. The legend of Artorius art none but a fabrication. Traversing the dark. 'Tis but a fairy tale. Have thine own respect. Go not yonder knocking for nothing, I say. Well, indeed, thou art a strange one. Nevertheless, I feel some liking for thee. I'm Alvina of the Darkroot Wood. I command a clan of hunters who track down defilers of the forest graves. What dost thou say? Wilt thou not join us? Oh, yes, I believe we would suit thee well. I am very glad. And now thou art one of us. Let us establish a covenant.
Like I said, we're gonna join this covenant. I'm gonna go rest because those guys beat my ass. Well, that last guy with the greatsword did anyway.
If thou wearest that ring, it allows for thine summoning. If mine senses reveal intruders, I will summon thee. Fend them off, sir. I beseech only this. I shall summon others who will, by their honor, work tirelessly with thee. Thou shalt receive great reward, and whatsoever we shall pillage will be thine own. A true agreement, not so. But thou must heed the golden rule. The clan is thine own family. To thine kinsmen forever stay true. Darest not in any attempt to double cross. Have no doubt, such wretchedness never will we tolerate.
So now this is where you can meet Shiva. He's right there. Funnily enough, he actually has a little ninja sidekick. Now you can like kill this guy and he drops a dark wood grain ring that lets you do ninja flips if you have a light roll. We don't. It literally benefits me none. I'm not going to get it. We can speak to Shiva though. Also, if you kill him, then you break the covenant, as Alvina was just saying.
I've heard all about you. I'm Shiva of the East, captain of the brigade. Let's teach you the clan basics now, as there's no time to chat in the midst of fighting, except there is little in the form of rules. You hear? Fight and hunt as you like. Whoever's fastest gets to prey. That's the way to do it. Only, don't forget what A.W.R said. Traitors aren't given a second chance, for any reason. That's about it then. Don't worry. It's a good old time, isn't it? Great to have you with us. Good hunting to you.
Alright, now, I don't think Shiva has anything else to say. We can meet him again in Blight Town, which we probably will. We have some business down there. But, that's for another time, another episode. What was I about to say? Oh, yeah, right. No, I lost it. No, there we go. The Forest Hunter is a covenant, is a PvP covenant. Specifically, if you wear the ring that we were just given, while you're here in this area, you can be summoned to fight other players who are in the area. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care for PvP covenants in any of the Souls games. I don't really care. I think I've already told you I don't really care too much for PvP in general. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it, you know, fight to gain rewards. What I don't really care for is the fact that to do that, you have to interrupt other people who are just kind of doing their own thing. Which really, it bothers me on a certain level. I don't think I actually have to be over here, so I may cut this part out. Well, darn, I've been speaking though, so I'm probably not going to cut it out. But yeah, no, I don't need to be over here. This is where we got our armor from in the first place. I'm not going to retread this ground. That being said then, honestly, there's no point in me being alive, but I do kind of want to kindle that bonfire. I could do the boss without kindling, though. I think we're going to keep going. I don't recall there being any, like, summons or anything. Also, speaking of, there we go. This is the bow that I mentioned. So that's pretty much just going to be our forever bow. We may or may not put to use. So yeah, now we're going to go this way. I don't think there's anything around here. If there is, then I don't know about it. I've been thinking about what game I want to record after this. So basically, if you don't know, my plan is to record all of the games that I streamed years ago when I was still doing streaming. But I kind of deleted those VODs. So my plan with this channel has been to, or it will be to, I guess, redo those old games and eventually break back into streaming once I get done, you know, with the catalog, I guess. No, don't run. Let it happen. I don't know how feasible that is. The more I think about the list of games that I actually streamed, the more I realize I streamed a lot of games. These guys hit hard, by the way. They don't take as much damage as I would have liked from that. You do not want to get decked by one of these guys. No. Also watch their animation, because they will go in for a second swing. Now they do drop gold pine resin, which I think is really nice. Oh yeah, right. We got another attunement slot, so that's nice. Now, when I say they hit hard, I mean I have been playing this game and gotten one shot by them, so be careful, is all I'll say there. Now, you can take the enchanted ember to that blacksmith that's down in the area below Firelink, which actually I believe will be the subject of next episode, so we'll be seeing that pretty soon anyway. In case you aren't familiar with what I'm referring to, you will be. Or I guess where I'm referring to, you will be. Now, I'm going to do this little side area. I have no reason to. I don't like this little side area. Because I don't like these enemies. We've got these like weird cat creatures that kind of resemble Alvina. Yeah. Range go. Like, this is the only area you will encounter whatever the hell these creatures are. Definitely cats, making the same sounds Alvina was passively making. Here go the other two. I don't know why I don't like this area so much. I feel like I have some kind of PTSD about this area. These guys don't feel particularly strong, but at the same time, I could haul off and die right now. So, they also have that weird roly-poly. I think it's that roly-poly attack that gave me so much PTSD. As you can see, they're not the strongest creatures we've ever fought. We do pack a wallop though. Okay. Can't underestimate them, that's for sure. Kind of playing a weird game of cat and mouse with them. No puns intended there. In this case, are we the mouse? Who knows? I love running attacks in Dark Souls. They're just really strong. I don't have any rings that like increase like my thrust or counter damage. That would be really good for these guys, I think. But it's fine. So that was that. Like I said, I don't really care for that little side area. There's literally no point to coming over here except just getting a few extra souls. What I can show you though, this is where the that little cut through I was telling you about would come through. So this is that same, actually it's not. You would follow essentially a pathway that's like right there up this ladder. But you go down, you would go to that bridge, and then that's the waterfall, and then the ladder is like right where the tip of my katana is, roughly. So yeah, you come up this way, and then you just have to avoid the cat creatures. And this is where it connects to the other area. If you don't want to avoid the cat creatures, it connects right here. So yeah, you know, you have options when it comes to dealing with Darkroot. It's all interconnected. There is no, you know, mandatory, you have to buy the Crest of Artorias. That's not a thing. So yeah, tackle it at your leisure. As you can see, at level 51, about to be 52, because I think I'm gonna level up again before I leave, or before I go fight the boss. This area shouldn't be too challenging to you at all. Now, if you don't have as much health as I do, it could prove to be a little tricky, but even still, you should be fine. We're gonna go ahead and handle the boss and cry our tears over the sadness of this boss, and then we're gonna go call it an episode. I'm gonna do the episode. I'm gonna do the item read and call it an episode. Honestly, I didn't anticipate this episode being as short as it was, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad that it is as short as it's gonna be. So yeah. Now, one thing that I will say is that if I were not determined to get a specific encounter to happen later on in the game, we could get a special cutscene here. But as I am not going to play the DLC first and then come back here because I don't have the means to accomplish what I want to accomplish, I'm instead going to just tackle this boss now and be sad about it. Maybe if I stream this game again one day, we can do it the other way, but for now, yeah, let's go ahead and handle this. Actually, I wonder, do you need the Crest of Artorias to open this door? I don't think you do. I don't. Pop up there, so I assume you don't. So obvious boss arena is obvious. So interesting factoid about this boss arena: the boss doesn't trigger as long as you don't walk like right in front of right there. You can just kind of go around it, and I'm only saying this because there's an item behind behind the trigger point. You can walk behind and just kind of pick up the item and leave if you really wanted to. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, obviously I'm going to fight the boss. I'm just going to approach it more from the front. It really doesn't matter where you're standing. I'm actually curious how this pyromancy will perform against this boss. Hopefully my curiosity won't get me killed. Also, this is a very iconic sword in the series. Sif, best doggo. Now, this is going to be a very weird statement that I'm about to make, but apparently there is some discourse in the community as to Sif's gender. um, okay, just not going to hit any of these. So, and that is to say that Sif, to my understanding, is traditionally a Nordic feminine name. But for the longest, I just kind of assumed, like, you know, my default gender assumption, unless, you know, told otherwise, is male, mostly because I am, you know, myself a male. But yeah, I've seen, maybe not recently, but I've seen some fairly modern discourse, you know, about, you know, Sif being a she, which I don't really care, you know, and the particular gender of Sif doesn't really bother me either way. It's just something that came to my attention, and I was like, maybe Sif is a girl. I don't know. It doesn't, like I said, it has literally no bearing on anything whatsoever. Just something I've noticed be a talking point. Oh, I actually didn't expect Sif to kill me just then. Just give me a second. Well, I'll cut back to this. Don't ask me how, but I almost fell off the bridge right before this this boss room. Like, losing 4,000 souls wouldn't have mattered very much to me, but it's the principle of the matter. Losing that many souls just because I wasn't paying attention would have been rather embarrassing. Now, it probably would have helped a whole heck of a lot if my pyromancies had actually, you know, hit Sif last time, which they absolutely failed to do. Alright, so when you get Sif to about right here, the fight gets really sad. I'm gonna turn the camera away while I go get my souls. I don't want to watch that. But Sif is so determined to protect the grave of Artorias that I'm just gonna refer to Sif as a she. I think it's fitting for some reason. That she, even while limping and totally unable to attack or defend at this point, will continue to pursue you. Okay, let's put her down. I can't watch this. There's the Covenant of Artorias. Yeah, so this is pretty much a dead end. You may as well just use that homeward bone. Do I have enough Demon Tide Knight to level up my sword again, or am I safe to level up? I'm safe to level up. Speaking of which, +4. I'm trying to map out where the rest of the Titanite demons to give me the +5 are, and I think they're all in Sin's. Well, 3 are in Sin's Fortress. I'm pretty sure I left the one in Anor Londo alive. And I don't remember if I need 4 or 5 Titanite or Demon Titanite to level up this sword again. I may end up doing that between episodes. Like, I don't think I've done very much between episodes, but that might be something I do between episodes. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me fight those Titanite demons. You've seen me kill quite a few at this point, enough at least to get enough Demon Titanite for +3 or 4 or whatever. Okay, so I'm good to level up. Gonna level up my health some more. And once that gets to 30, I'm just gonna start working on endurance 30, and then yeah, so on and so forth. So where should I do the item read from? Because actually no. I'm going to go to Firelink, I think. Just to get us prepped and ready position-wise for the next episode. Which would be episode 9, if I'm not mistaken. So, while we're here, did we speak to these lovely gentlemen already?
Hello there. I was expecting you. As promised, I will share my sorceries. I'm afraid that you are unable to learn sorcery. The basic framework, you see, it cannot be taught. Oh, do not fret. Life isn't all about sorcery. You will find your own way. Don't frown with regret. Peer forward with your head high.
It's called us stupid, by the way. Okay. So now we are going to do the item read. We didn't really get that many items today for that. I'm kind of glad. So let's just, I'm gonna take a very, so we got the Soul of Sif. Soul of Sif, the great grey wolf, who guards the grave of Artorias, the Abyss Walker. That's pretty much it. I don't ever read that little bottom part anymore, just because it's kind of generic. We got the Enchanted Ember. Ember required for weapon ascension. This enchanted ember, a form of sorcery, is a vestige of the lost land of Ulasil. Okay, interesting. I didn't actually know that, but I guess I probably should have, considering where you pick it up from. The preferred black bow of the heroic archer Ferris has a longer range than standard bows, but is more difficult to use. Without proper abilities, results will be underwhelming. Helm of a lower rank knight. Despite the thin metal used, the groove texture gives an added protection. Broad-brimmed hat favored by the archer hero Ferris. Ferris was an accomplished archer, and though he was human, he ranked alongside Hawkeye Goff, one of the 4 knights of Lord Gwyn. His hat is universally popular among children. Now there's a name drop for Hawkeye Goff, which I'm pretty sure we've already know about, because I'm pretty sure we got the Hawk ring a while ago, or at least while we were in Anor Londo, so like what, an episode ago? But yeah, now we have the Dusk set. Special magic crown bestowed upon Dusk, princess of Ulasil, upon her birth. Its wearer is blessed by all manner of magic. This raises the power and effect of the wearer's magic, but damage suffered by magic attacks also rises. Excuse me. Addressed from the ancient fallen land of Ulasil, its ivory-colored silk features elaborate embroidery. Wait. Oh. My bad. Its ivory-colored silk. Blah, 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 blah. Having a stroke. I shouldn't joke about that. Strokes are very serious. Its ivory-colored silk features elaborate embroidery and is imbued with ancient magic power. One cannot expect any physical protection from this garment, as it was not meant to be worn in battle. This magic crown-shaped ring was granted to Princess Dusk of Ulasil upon her birth. The ring stone allows its wearer to cast additional magics, but at the cost of 1/2 of HP. Oh man, the Dusk set is just conspiring to make you easier to kill. And I'm pretty sure with the acquisition of the Hornet ring, we have all 4 rings of the 4 Knights of Gwyn. One of the special rings granted to the 4 Knights of Gwyn, the Hornet ring, belonged to the Lord. Oh, so before I finish reading this, I just recently figured out how to pronounce this name. And you may be thinking to yourself, oh, how didn't you know how to pronounce it? Well, it's because no one in the game pronounces it, okay? Apparently, I was watching a video the other day, and apparently there's cut content of people actually pronouncing this person's name, so I know how to say it now. So, the Hornet ring belonged to the Lord's Blade Kiran. By boosting critical attacks, its wearer can annihilate foes, as Kiran's dagger laid waste to Lord Gwyn's enemies. So it's not Sirin, it's not Kyrian or anything like that, it's Kiran, apparently. She says it herself, and then another person also says it, and they say it the exact same way, so I feel like there can be no debate that FromSoft intended it to be pronounced Kiran. Anyway, I don't even know why I got heated about that. I'm not arguing with anyone, I'm in this house by myself. Anyway, we also get the Covenant of Artorias. This ring symbolizes Knight Artorias' covenant with the Beast of the Abyss. Its wearer, like Artorias himself, can traverse the Abyss. We got the Cat Covenant ring. Ring granted to those bound by the Forest Hunter Covenant. Answer Alvina's summoning. The white cat Alvina speaks a human tongue and has lived since the early age of fire. Alvina was a trusted friend of Knight Artorias and the great wolf Sif. And that is all. That is the item read today. I do hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and I also hope that you enjoy me for the next episode when we go to conquer New Londo. So yeah, hope you guys will join me then, and I will see you next time. Peace.